In 2018, a 54-year-old woman named Carol sat in her neurologist's office in Cincinnati. She had gone in because she kept losing her keys. Small thing. Annoying, but small. The neurologist ran a scan. What he saw on that MRI stopped him cold. Carol's hippocampus, the brain's memory center, had already shrunk. Not a little. Significantly. She was not in early Alzheimer's. She had no family history. She exercised. She slept reasonably well. But something was quietly killing her brain. The neurologist asked her one question. What does your diet look like? Carol described a normal American kitchen. Cereal in the morning, packaged bread, bottled salad dressing, a few snacks in the afternoon. The neurologist leaned back. He had seen this pattern before. Something Carol ate every single day was accelerating her cognitive decline, and she had absolutely no idea. Carol is not an outlier. Right now, over 55 million people worldwide are living with dementia. That number doubles every 20 years. And the trigger is already in your kitchen. This is Longevity Lab. We dig into the science of living longer, and we do not pull punches. Let's get into it. 1. Ultra-processed foods shrink your brain. A researcher in Brazil named Natalia Gomes Gonçalves spent years tracking nearly 11,000 adults. She was not looking for anything dramatic. She was just measuring diets and running brain scans over time. What she found was brutal. People who got more than 20% of their daily calories from ultra-processed foods, think packaged bread, flavored chips, instant noodles, breakfast cereals, lost brain volume at an accelerated rate, 32% faster cognitive decline, every single year. This was not a small fringe study. It was published in JAMA Neurology in 2022. The University of Sao Paulo. The mechanism matters too. Ultra-processed foods trigger systemic inflammation. That inflammation crosses the blood-brain barrier. It attacks the hippocampus directly. The same structure that shrank in Carol's scan. Here is what that looked like. Your micro-action today. Walk to your kitchen right now. Pick up 5 packaged items. If the ingredient list has more than 5 items or contains anything you cannot pronounce, that food is working against your brain. 2. Added sugar rewires your stress response. A team at the University of Michigan had a question. What does long-term sugar consumption actually do to the brain's stress circuitry? Not the gut, not the heart, the brain's stress response. They ran a study on adolescents and young adults consuming high-sugar diets over extended periods. The results were not subtle. The amygdala, your brain's fear and anxiety center, became chronically hyperactivated. But the prefrontal cortex, the part that controls rational decision-making and memory consolidation, went quiet. Sugar did not just rot teeth. It rewired who you are under pressure. Published in Translational Psychiatry in 2023, the researchers found that cortisol, your primary stress hormone, spiked repeatedly throughout the day in high-sugar consumers. Chronic cortisol elevation literally destroys hippocampal neurons, the same neurons you need to remember where you put your keys, the same ones Carol was losing. This is what researchers found. Your micro-action today. For the next 24 hours, read the sugar content on every label before you eat it. Do not change anything yet. Just see. Most people are shocked at what they discover. 3. Seed oils drive neuroinflammation you cannot feel. Here is the problem with inflammation in the brain. You do not feel it. There is no pain receptor inside brain tissue. So it happens silently, for years, for decades. And one of the most potent drivers of that silent fire is a class of oils found in almost every packaged food in your kitchen. Soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, sunflower oil. These are called omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acids. And when the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 in your diet tilts too far, which it has in almost every Western diet, your microglia go haywire. Microglia are your brain's immune cells. When they stay activated too long, they begin consuming healthy synapses. They prune connections that should not be pruned. Oxford University researchers demonstrated in 2021 that elevated omega-6 to omega-3 ratios directly correlate with elevated neuroinflammatory markers and reduced white matter integrity on brain scans. White matter is your brain's wiring. When it degrades, processing speed slows. Memory retrieval slows. You feel foggy. You forget the word you want. You lose the thread of a conversation. Here is what that looks like under a microscope. Your micro-action today. Check the oils in your kitchen. Replace one bottle, just one, with extra virgin olive oil. That single swap changes your inflammatory ratio immediately. 4. Your gut bacteria are sending signals to your brain right now. In 2019, a neuroscientist named John Cryan at University College Cork published something that rearranged the field. He had been studying what he called the gut-brain axis for years. The finding that changed everything. The bacteria in your gut produce roughly 90% of your body's serotonin. Not your brain, your gut. And those same bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that cross the blood-brain barrier and directly regulate microglial behavior, those immune cells we just talked about. When you eat ultra-processed food, you do not just feed yourself. You feed the bacteria that control your mood, your cognition, and your brain's inflammatory state. 90% of your serotonin, made in your gut, not your brain. Cryan's team showed that a diet high in emulsifiers, the chemicals that give packaged food its smooth texture, devastates microbial diversity within 72 hours. 72 hours, less than 3 days. And when microbial diversity crashes, neuroinflammatory markers rise. Anxiety rises. Memory consolidation suffers. The gut was never separate from the brain. It was always part of it. Your micro-action today. Eat 1 serving of fermented food today. Plain yogurt with live cultures. A tablespoon of sauerkraut. A small glass of kefir. That is enough to begin reseeding your microbiome within 48 hours. 5. Salt starves your brain of blood. This one surprises people, not because they do not know salt raises blood pressure. They know that. What they do not know is the direct mechanism by which high sodium intake starves the brain of oxygen, independently of blood pressure. Cornell University researchers published a study in 2018 that revealed something new. A high-salt diet suppresses nitric oxide production in blood vessel walls. Nitric oxide is what keeps your cerebrovascular system open and flexible. Without it, tiny capillaries in the brain constrict. Blood flow to the hippocampus and frontal cortex drops. A 36% reduction in cerebral blood flow in just 8 weeks of high-salt intake in mice engineered to be equivalent to middle-aged adults. The brain began responding as if it were under a mild but constant state of oxygen deprivation. Cognitive scores dropped. Tau protein, one of the markers of Alzheimer's disease, accumulated. The processed food in your kitchen is not just high in sugar and bad oils. The average American consumes nearly 3,400 milligrams of sodium per day. The safe ceiling is 2,300. Most of that excess does not come from the salt shaker. It comes from packaged food. Here is what restricted blood flow looks like in the brain. Your micro-action today. Drink 2 extra glasses of water today. Hydration supports nitric oxide production and helps flush excess sodium from your system within 24 hours. 6. Your brain cleans itself at night, but only under the right conditions. There is a system in your brain called the glymphatic system. It was only discovered in 2013 by Micah Nedergaard at the University of Rochester. Here is what it does. While you sleep, specifically during deep slow-wave sleep, your brain cells shrink by up to 60%. Cerebrospinal fluid floods the newly opened spaces. It washes out metabolic waste, beta-amyloid plaques, tau protein, the exact debris associated with Alzheimer's disease. Your brain has a built-in dishwasher. It only runs at night. 60%. Your brain physically shrinks to clean itself. Here is the part that connects directly to your kitchen. Alcohol disrupts slow-wave sleep architecture. So does high blood sugar before bed. Both are products of what you ate and drank in the last few hours of your day. When the glymphatic system cannot run a full cycle, toxic proteins accumulate. Night after night, year after year. This is what the glymphatic system looks like in action. Your micro-action today. Stop eating at least 3 hours before you go to sleep tonight. No exceptions. Let your insulin drop. Let your brain begin its cleaning cycle. 7. One kitchen ingredient fights back. Here is the turn. Not everything in your kitchen is killing your brain. There is one ingredient with more published neuroprotective evidence behind it than almost any other food compound on Earth. Extra virgin olive oil, specifically the phenolic compound oleocanthal, found in high-quality, cold-pressed olive oil. A 2022 study from Temple University showed that oleocanthal enhances the brain's glymphatic clearance of amyloid beta. It also reduces neuroinflammatory cytokines. It protects myelin, the sheath around your neurons, from oxidative damage. 2 tablespoons per day. That was the effective dose. 2 tablespoons. Not a supplement, not a pill. A food that your kitchen may already have, just used too sparingly. The Mediterranean populations with the lowest rates of Alzheimer's in Europe are not doing anything mystical. They are pouring this oil on everything. The science caught up to what those cultures knew instinctively. Carol, by the way, she changed 3 things in her kitchen. Within 14 months, her follow-up MRI showed the shrinkage had stopped progressing. Her neurologist called it remarkable. Your micro-action today. Add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil to your dinner tonight. Pour it on. Do not cook with it at high heat. Use it raw, over vegetables or salad. Here is your 3-step plan. Start tonight. Step 1. Audit your kitchen in the next 10 minutes. Pick up every packaged item. If the ingredient list is longer than 5 items, set it aside. You are not throwing it out tonight. You are just seeing it clearly for the first time. Step 2. Stop eating 3 hours before sleep. Tonight, set a phone alarm if you need to. This single habit activates your brain's glymphatic cleaning system and may be the most powerful free intervention you have. Step 3. Add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil to your dinner every single day this week. No cost, no cooking class, no equipment. Just pour it on. If your brain health matters to you, subscribe. Because next week, we are investigating the sleep habit that accelerates Alzheimer's by a decade. The researchers did not expect what they found. Neither will you.